Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is, what is it? It's Wednesday. It's November 9th, 2022. My name's Jeremy. This is my first cup. There we go. Live on Twitch over here. All right. Twitch just showed up. Technical difficulties. We'll just call it that. Okay. It's a computer, and sometimes it does dumb things. All right. Hope you are all well. Hope you had a great Tuesday. Hope you're going to have a great Wednesday. I'm frustrated at technology right now, but I have kind of a plan, which I will spare you all. Good morning, Nathan, Dennis, Brian, Jenny, Stacy, and everybody else out there watching. Thanks for coming by. Dennis says, the show started so late, I'm already on my second cup. 2 minutes! I went live 6:32. I'm sorry. Apparently, I've set the bar so high that you guys freak out. Good morning, Mark. Jenny says, Tuesday was a good day. I'm going to be busy today getting packed and setting everything in place for the weekend. Same. Andrew came up yesterday. We recorded a couple episodes. We talked about stuff for free training day. I had a whole pile. I printed, there's paper. There's like half a ream of paper of signs and forms and everything sitting over there. Things ready to go. I'm excited for those things. Every year we try to make it a little bit better. And yeah, just constantly little bits of improvement. Pardon me. And I recorded 2 episodes. Did a bunch of flyers, forms, printouts, things like that. Put some other plans in place. Put some stuff in some piles. What else? Had a doctor's appointment. It went well. Had dinner with a friend. That went well. Came home, went to bed. It was a good day. It was a simple day. Today is also a simple day. It's all about prepping for free training day. I'll do the books, and that's it. My Wednesday client call is canceled. Client is traveling. So I'm just doing my thing. Stacy says, bundles. No, better. Yeah, I showed Andrew all the stuff I had for the bundles. He's got a bunch of stuff for bundles. It's going to be insane. We're going to have some available for anybody out there who didn't buy or wants to buy more than one. We will have some extras without the shirt. And those will be available on Saturday. Jared says, tomorrow, myself and 2 other teachers are taking 30 kids overnight to a fossil hunting site for a field trip. That sounds amazing, and I want to go. That sounds really cool. I think some of you know my affinity for dinosaurs. Grew up, I was going to be a paleontologist. That was the plan. Stacey says, do we need carts for our bundles? Probably not, but some of you will have bundles that will test the physical limitations of the bags. That's all I'm going to say. I'm excited to see everyone's excitement. I really am. What else can I tell you? I don't like when the routine is broken, as you can tell, and I'm out of sorts from it. It's cold. I got home to just below freezing last night, woke up. Google thought it was like 26, 27 degrees. No, it was 20. The grass outside is quite crunchy. I can see it. We're at that time. We are at that time. I was going to order heating oil earlier this week. and went and looked at the prices and went, no, I've got enough to make it through winter. I'm fine. I'll wait. Ugh. Almost double what I paid last year. But most of you, if you heat with something, you already knew that. The beauty of having 2 tanks. Stacey's asking, unbagging videos? Hey, if you want to, by all means. Jenny says, we went from record high temps to freeze frost warnings in about a 30-hour time span. Yeah, we were close to that. Of course, it's not uncommon here for it to get really cold, but yeah, the weather from Friday through Monday, that mid to upper 70s, depending on where you were in Vermont, was kind of crazy. And now 20. Ooh. Here we have one of the biggest temperature swings you find in the country. In the summer, it can be 100. In the winter, it can be negative 30. There aren't a lot of places in the country where you have a 130-degree temperature swing. And honestly, in a typical year, we will have a 120-degree temperature swing because it easily gets into the mid-90s, at least a couple days every year. And it definitely gets into the negative mid-20s every year. We had 1 year, I remember, where it barely went below freezing, and it was like the warmest winter. It was crazy. What else can I tell you? If anybody has any requests, I'll remind you. Spawn gear is very less due to prep and space and everything for this weekend. But if there's gear that you want, I have tons of shin guards, some forearm and elbow guards, a reasonable selection of gloves, helmets, and boots. Actually, somebody bought a helmet last night. You know what? You will all find this funny. Most of you have purchased something. Most of you have purchased multiple things from whistlekick.com, and you use your discount codes. And we've got, the First Cup code. We've got the podcast code because it helps me know why people are buying. Lately, no codes. It's people that I don't know how they're finding us, but they're finding us. And I suspect it's because a lot of the suppliers that they typically go through don't have gear. And when they search, we come up and we have good ratings and reviews. And people are like, I'll give these guys a shot, but we're selling stuff at full price and I love it. Finally got a hold of the factory yesterday. I said, hey, need more. And they said, okay. And it looks like, knock on wood, I will actually have it in hand in time to ship for Christmas, which blows my mind. They are not usually that fast, but those are just words. So it's entirely possible it shows up in March. Dennis says, to Jenny, with that kind of temperature swing, Pennsylvania can be an honorary member of New England. Yeah, I'd say so. All right. Now, Frank did send stuff over. Of course, I didn't fully prep. I would have been fine, but the camera the computer wouldn't recognize the camera. And I finally figured out why it's doing that. It does that sometimes. And I finally figured out why. So knock on wood, I have a shot at fixing it. There we go. There's Frank's stuff. Thank Frank for all your work producing the show. Thank you to Josh for your theme song. Remember, if anybody else wants to work on First Cup, that's an option. All right, so what do we got? Boom, 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 going over here, pressing this button. Tomorrow, Henner Gracie turns 39. We got some quotes from Henner Gracie. If you didn't guess, Henner Gracie is a member of the Gracie clan, the famed, I don't know what we want to call them. Do we want to call them BJJ pioneers? I think we can call them that. If it were not for the Gracies, I doubt anybody would be doing BJJ. Let's just put it that way. Or very few people. The goal is not to simulate reality right now by going crazy. The goal is to prepare for reality by going slowly. Hey, it's like he's stealing my playbook. One of the things I say in my sessions is that martial arts is one of the only things, maybe even the only thing I know of, where we say, okay, you have the basics, cool, go fast. We don't do that with anything else. We don't naturally, instinctively do that. When a child is figuring out how to walk, we don't say, all right, you got that walking down, now go run. We encourage them to walk and walk around, and we help them walk around and gain not only skill, but confidence in that new skill. Martial arts, we say, okay, you've learned this kick, cool, go spar with it. What? Doesn't make sense. If we spent more time doing things slowly in martial arts and just kind of cautious, safe experimentation, we would see faster progress. The entire reason I want to open a school is to prove this. So people can say, wow, how'd your students get so good? That person's only been training for 2-3 years. You gave them a black belt? Yeah, they seem like a black belt. They do. Okay. How did you do that? We spend a lot of time moving slowly. Good morning, Josh. Number 2. He who manages the distance manages the damage. There's something that's discussed a lot more in grappling circles than I'm used to our discussion in striking circles. The notion of controlling distance. It was expressed to me that in grappling, if you are in a defensive position, you want to reduce distance because obviously if you have no space, you can't really punch. But if you're attacking, if you're the aggressor, you're trying to create distance so you can strike. Makes complete sense. We have kind of the inverse, maybe not the inverse, but we have a different take on it in striking. It's generally, if you're trying to strike, you have to close distance. If you are trying to defend, you're generally trying to create distance. Now, I guess that is the inverse. We're trying to get away. I don't want you close enough that you can hit me. Never want people close enough they can hit me. So what am I going to do today? Probably not go. I don't even know. I might not even go anywhere. I'll probably go to the gym later. But it's just going to be more piles and packing and boxes and lists and hangers. I'm looking at a chrome clothes rack. I'm not going to show you that because there's just piles of stuff over there, and it does not paint me and my organizational skills in a warm light. But what I have are these collapsible wheeled chrome clothing racks. I bought one for the Whistle Kick booth years and years ago, and it worked out so well, and we eventually had so much stuff I bought 2. I will tell you, these are one of the most versatile things I have in my garage. They hold 4 tires. They are the cheapest wheeled tire rack I've ever seen. They fold down so they fit in a car, or you could probably get it in the average size trunk. And so I collapsed it, brought it in, set it up, and I laid out, because I'm going to be there I've got 5 days. What am I wearing? Because some of those days it matters what I'm wearing. And so I laid out what I'm wearing. Oh, okay, well, I could do this and this so I can, not bring my entire wardrobe. And when I bought these things, they were like $45 with Prime on Amazon. You can't beat it. Everybody needs one. Maybe not, but if you train worst case scenarios consistently, they will no longer be worst case scenarios. Here's why I think a lot of people, a lot of schools don't like training worst case scenarios, because you're probably going to lose. Maybe you'll be alive, but you're probably going to lose. And it can be really difficult for an instructor to say, you're probably going to lose. They think it makes them look bad. Anybody who's done any mock knife fighting, and I mean more than just a couple plastic knives and you poke at each other. I mean, you wear like crummy shirts and you chalk the edges of the knives with red chalk. You're going to get cut. We've all heard that. You're most likely going to get cut. No, you're going to get cut. You're going to bleed. And the goal in a knife fight is to not die. Unless you have someone who is incredibly skilled up against someone who is not skilled at all, both people are going to get injured. And the goal is that you finish it quickly enough that you can get patched up. But that doesn't sound good when you're a martial arts instructor and you're teaching your students to say, hey, so if someone pulls a knife on you, you're going to bleed a lot. It's going to hurt. That's why a lot of schools don't do worst case scenarios. You know, it's funny, Jenny. I was thinking of you when I said that. She says, I love that idea. My list-making, over-planning brain now wants me to buy a wheeled clothes rack. You could easily, a lot of those stand-up closets, you know, those portable closets that people will buy if they have like a small apartment, this will fit in them. And you could take out if you didn't want to display it, you could easily put one of those fold-up closet things over it and have some more versatility and hide it if you want. But yeah, that room, the room that is over there is just, it's the utility room. It's whatever I'm planning for, prepping for, it gets piles and stacks of things. So Mark says, I haven't won a knife fight yet. Mark would know. Mark's our resident knife guy. And Jenny says, you are definitely going to get cut. You want to be able to minimize the damage you take while not losing focus on your defense. You want to survive, not get out uncut. Yep. If you admit that you're going to bleed, as unfortunate as it is, you have a different attitude going in. If your goal, if you set everything up to, I'm not going to get cut at all, the moment you get cut, you feel like you've lost. But if the goal in self-defense in a given situation is to survive, you're never going to lose. Because unfortunately, not surviving, you're not going to be worried about it. You do what you got to do. Good quotes. Thank you, Frank. And thank you, Mr. Gracie. We have not had any Gracies on the show, which is odd. We've tried. There's so many of them. That's okay. We'll get there. Andrew and I debriefed his time at Rhode Island Comic-Con and the names, the people that he talked to that said they wanted to come onto the show. Some of these are absolutely awesome guests, people that you would never expect. People that if we get them on the show, you're going to get super pumped. And if you want to know ahead of time, you know what you got to do. At least $2 a month to the Patreon. Just a reminder, if you're a school owner, you should be in at that $50 tier so we can include you in the mastermind. There is nothing that you're going to do that's going to be a better way to grow your school than that monthly call. Seriously. Stacy says, Frank rocks. Yes, he does. Dennis says, heck, I rarely make it out of shaving uncut. Yeah, blades are blades. Jenny says, I shifted my internal organs. Please tell me you guys know that Jim Carrey skit. That's the famous In Living Color skit, right? Kelly says, I'm looking forward to my monthly call. Yep, we're doing it tomorrow morning. Dennis is asking, Eric Roberts? I can neither confirm nor deny. I can neither confirm nor deny anything. Yep. I'm not going to give you guys hints. It is time for another. This week, I think. Did I post last week? I think last week I gave you the updates on who was coming and who was scheduled and recorded and everything. I'll probably do that again next week. I try to do that every other week because we only have recordings every 3 weeks. So doing it every week is redundant. Josh says, my instructor, who was a civilian policeman and an MP, always says, don't worry about not getting hit. You will get hit. As long as you don't get hit hard enough that the lights go out and you can go home, you're doing okay. Puts things in perspective. It absolutely does. It's another side of that ego coin, right? Like we don't really talk about it from this side. But if instructors aren't willing to look ungodly, if they give real information to their students and say, look, there are situations that are going to come up where, unfortunately, you're not going to make it out, or you're going to make it out really injured, then it creates some false confidence. And Andrew and I did an episode on that, and I'd rather have false confidence than no confidence. But it's okay with advanced students to talk about these things, advanced, mature students. I'm not talking to a 12-year-old about getting cut. Maybe I'm talking to a 16-year-old. I'm definitely talking to a 20-year-old about getting cut. They need to know. And you can present it in different ways. You don't have to present it as somebody pulls a knife on you, you're probably going to die. You don't have to say that. It's not true. But you also don't have to say it. You can be more delicate than that. So the idea of training these worst case scenarios, it's a mindset. It's the most important part. Kelly says, when we do one steps, which are a type of self-defense drill, I tell them they have 4 options. Beat it, move, block it, or eat it. Yeah. Well said. All right, everybody. I appreciate your patience with getting the show going. It happens. Tomorrow we will have a regular show. Friday I will come to you from the hotel. Ooh, sneeze. Saturday, some of you will be there with me. But if you're awake, Saturday at roughly 6:30, hopefully it means you're at free training day. And you'll be joining me in the breakfast room. Thank you, Jenny. I hope that if you're willing to support us, you'll consider joining the Patreon if you haven't already. Those of you who are part of the Patreon, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Picking up something at whistlekick.com with the code FIRSTCUP15. Or if you want the whole shebang, go check out the family page. I made a big update on Monday. I won't tell you. Whistlekick.com/family. We do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I tried taking the camera off the tripod to see what I thought of that. I don't like it. It's going back on the tripod because instead of being here, I'd much rather be here and looking more evenly at you. This I would have to be down here. I don't like that. So there we go. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.